I have a few things to show. Let's do a video. Go. Okay, so the past couple days, a couple things came in the mail. One that I've been waiting for a long time, and then some other minor things had shown up. Now, this one you may remember, for those of you who watch JC over at Flipside, he showed this last week and said that he found a place online to get this record store day released. It was very hard to find. People were scrambling to get it and disappeared real quick. That he found a place online that had them, and so I jumped online and got one, and it came in today. So yeah, this is Tesla. This is only my second Tesla vinyl. I showed in a previous video on VCLT about how I received their first album from Randall Weaver, and this is now my second. So I gave it a spin today. I love the color, this translucent looking purplish, looks really nice on the turntable with the white background. It really pops. Anyway, good stuff. And then this came in. This is the one that took a long time. So this I actually ordered in December, early December. It was shipped early December, around the 8th or 9th, and literally 3 months, almost 3 months to the day, it took to get here from Germany. Now the tracking showed that it landed in Frankfurt around 2 days after he shipped it, and nothing. It never showed another update. No tracking. It said it was handed off to this country of destination, but there was not a single update until a couple days ago, and all of a sudden after 3 months shows up in Jersey. Anyway, this is the first album by Vanic. Now I first mentioned them a couple months ago because they came in the very first Metalhead box that I received, and I was impressed with what I heard. It was their third album. They have a sound that's kind of punkish feeling at times. It's kind of got a little bit of a metal feel, a speed feel. It's just kind of rough and gruff. The vocalist at times reminds me a lot of the vocalist from Venom, Kronos, and so it's got that kind of barking sound. All based around horror type music, and so they've got this, I guess you could call it a mascot, because I'll show you real quick. It appears on all the albums, and it's all about horror shows and stuff. They have this, it comes with this cool poster announcing coming this Halloween, so they get that cool guy there with the guitar, and then it's got the upside down. It's got the image from the album on the other side. Ooh, that's scary. And this is technically the insert or the song book. It's actually an actual booklet type thing, which is really nice. And it's got little line art and lyrics. One of these is a little risque, so we're not going to show that one. But so werewolves and horror and gruesome stuff like that. Now the copy, there is two versions of this that were released. The copy I got was just on black wax. I think it also came on like orange, which would have been nice, but $110 for the oranges, no thank you. These were pressed in limited quantities overseas, so I could only get it from overseas, so I did have to order it from somebody in Germany because they only had a limited amount that made it to America, and they were long gone. Now I showed recently, this is one of their newer releases. It's like it's a 7-inch, but it's got a handful of songs. And if you go back and look at the video, I forget when I did it, but it's got like a little pack of trading cards, and it's got a bunch of other things in there. So it was kind of neat because, like I say, it has all of these extras, making it kind of like, reminds me of the days when we used to get the Kiss records and there was always something in it. And then I had picked up their second album roughly around the time that after I got the first album. This one I was able to find on their Bandcamp site. I was able to find a copy for fairly cheap. It's their first album that totally went out of print. And this one was on a like a neon-y looking swirl green. So I grabbed that, and then this was the one that started it all. This was the one that came in the Metalhead box. Anyway, if you're into that kind of punkish, kind of metalish, kind of rough around the edges, just kind of raw horror-based, check them out. That's I'm just glad now to have all of the 3 records there, being the completest. I cranked it yesterday, and it sounded great. Anyway, all right. At this point, boom, we switch gears to Christian rock news. This is stuff that's come in recently that would be of the Christian metal and rock. Now, a couple weeks ago, I know some of these interviews I do for Heavens Metal Magazine are pretty long, and if you're not into this artist or the Christian rock artists, you may not have saw it. But a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, I did one with Wade from Malachi, and their first album is being reissued on vinyl and CD. During the conversation, we talked about the little 7-inch single that had been released in between the first album and the second, and I said I didn't even know that had been in existence back in the day. So he actually had a copy and shot it out to me, a little note thanking me. And it's just a neat little 7-inch. It's got 2 songs that came on the album, so this was like a precursor to the album. So just kind of a neat little piece of history worth having. Now these just came in today. This is hot off the press. Deliverance, Weapons of Our Warfare, the Gold Disc Edition. This comes with, again, one of the foil cards. It's actually foil card number 4, so it's one of the older ones. But it's the Gold Disc Edition with 8 bonus tracks. And, wow, you can get that glare in there. 8 bonus tracks. So I haven't been really keeping up with all of the Gold Disc Editions. Both Retroactive Records and Rocks Records and Gooder Records are all doing them, and they've got their own series. And I think most Rocks and Retroactive are into like teens now, 12, 13, 14, and Gooder has, I think, 3 out right now. So, but I got it because of the card, and it's one of the first ones they released with the new long box series. So back in the old days, if you remember these, I could go either way. Not whatever. I'm not like a big collector of the long boxes. I do have, I don't know if you can see this here. This is the long box from the King's X. I kept this from back in the day. This is a Galactic Cowboys from the long box. I think from the back of it I cut it off. I have a bunch of old long box artwork for like Striper and Guardian and some of those bands, but it wasn't like I was a super collector of these. So anyway, I got this because it has a card in it, which, well, not in this case, but in the case of the Bride ones that are coming, the long box has a card that's different from the CD, which is separate. So, And then this also came in from Retroactive. This is the new Perpetual Paranoia. It just came out. This has got Dale Thompson of Bride on it singing. This is their 3rd album. I've given it a spin. And so far, I have about the same feelings I do for the first 2 albums that they did. I'm going to have to give it some more spins. And then up next, we have this. Valor, Fight for Your Life. Now, I know, there's a lot of you out there saying, but wait a minute, Jeff, didn't you just show us that album 5 months ago? I know there are some of you out there who are that astute and that keen to what I showed 5 months ago, right? Right? Oh, I see. You back. You did it, yeah. Anyway, this just came in. Yes, 5 months ago, I showed you this. Okay. See the difference? Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? You probably can't because it's so small on camera. This is the remastered edition. This one is not. Honestly, I knew that this is an album that came out on vinyl back in the days, late 80s. It's impossibly expensive to buy these days. So when it came out and I saw it advertised as a remastered, they actually went in and re-recorded the bass parts. They re-cleaned it up, mixed it a little bit, tweaked it here and there. And I had the CD first. CD sounded great. It was like giving new life to this album. Then they released it on vinyl, and I grabbed it. Now, I somehow totally missed the boat on the fact that around the same time, It's hard to tell if it was around the same time or earlier because they both say copyright 2019, but around the same time they had this edition, which is the actual original, just reissued. I don't even know if it's been remastered. It's reissued, the same bass lines, everything. So this is the original. Now, what do? I listened to both of them. There's actually some pieces in here. Mainly on the first song. Like at the beginning, there's just the guy starts off with the scream that's not even on here. So they did do a little bit of different things. But of course, on this one, everything is real clean sounding. The bass lines are real poppy. As far as they pop really good. It's got a real good mix and clean sound. This sounds like what I grew up listening to. It's tough. I listen to this and I'm like, yes! And I'm listening to this and I'm like, yes! So it's really hard to tell which one you like better. One that's a little cleaner, one that's just what you grew up with. But yeah, so those came in and I had to go ahead and get the second one. This one actually came with the picture of the band that was autographed too. So anyway, I know it's probably overkill, but I have both versions now, whichever mood I'm into. That's it for now though. Thanks for watching and I will see you later. Rock on, rock hard.